Hello, one and all, and welcome back to Code Weaver Plays Games. I think I've got my audio situation figured out. I'm going to switch right on over into the gaming with Cam. And we're just going to launch the game that we're going to play here, which is The Operator. Now, I had a streamer online actually play this. Let's just make sure that's still playing. Are you still doing okay? Yeah, all right, that seems to be doing okay. A streamer online, Insim, who I watch for playing Phasmophobia an awful lot, also decided to play this. And when I saw them get through the first few minutes of it, I decided this might be a game I wanted to play myself. And this is the kind of game that I think I can share with you all, because if it entices me, then you'll get to see more of this kind of thing. So I'm being hired by the Federal Department of Intelligence, obviously trying to stay away from certain legal organizations in the States, by name anyway. And there's supposed to be some sort of mysteries that get involved, some conspiracies. But I'm getting hired by the FDI, so let's figure out what this is all about. I think you should all be able to hear me just fine. I am going to make sure that my stream is playing in a different window so I can keep an eye on that. And just for giggles, I think I have managed to get the chat room actually displayed on screen. It didn't actually take that much work, and I've been doing streaming for a couple of years now and never bothered to figure out how to get that set up. So no more reading out the stream chat, at least not unless I just care to. So let's hope that works. It's an experiment. It's a grand experiment. Let's hit new games. Well, let's hit settings first and see if there's anything I want to change here. Frame rate's fine. Full screen mode. Blah, blah, blah. All the music. We're going to take the music down. And the reason why is I don't want to get any weird copyright strikes for any reason. In fact, I'm hoping I don't get any for the reasons already mentioned. But yeah, let's get right into this getting hired by the FDI here. It's unfortunate that... agent writing mode, time format, all right. It's unfortunate that I have to cut out music from a lot of this stuff, but that's the way it goes. So, and here we go, and I've unprofessionally left the door to my other room open. Not that anybody really cares, right? But there we go. A bit less of a distracting back wall. Hitting new game. Onward. Getting hired. Haven't done this in a while. Biome facility, somewhere in the U.S., 1992. All right.
You will answer my questions as usual. One for yes, two for no.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Sure.
Do you believe in extraterrestrial life? Are you currently restrained?
I kind of like to be able to answer these myself, but all right. Not married, but with a weird pause. Not in law enforcement.
Who I am? Do you know who you are? Are you?
I, of course, did not send spit out. The game did.
Good. He's ready.
All right, so let's check out being an employee of the FDI. The operator. Boy, I haven't done a stream in a coon's age. I really should look up the origin of that term. I have a nagging suspicion that that's actually not a terribly good term to use. Don't know where I picked it up from either, because nobody I know actually uses that phrase. Anyway, forgive me if I have inadvertently said something foolish there. Let's just move on. User. Oh, okay. So it's I'm typing on the keyboard, but it's filling in the letters of things. Incorrect password. Okay. No matter what I type in, it's just for show. Applications. All right. Welcome to the FDI. You are assigned to the operator program. Please read the following document before proceeding. Your program supervisor will contact you with further instructions. All right. Welcome to the FDI operator program. This is a secure and monitored federal government terminal. Unauthorized access strictly prohibited, etc. What is the operator program? Specifically designed to provide technical support to field agents who, while also ensuring a high level of confidentiality, agents call the hotline, calls dispatch secretaries who verify the agent's identity, clearance level, and request. The request is forwarded to the supervisor. Supervisor dispatches a call to an available operator. A direct line is established between the agent and the operator. Once the operator fulfills the agent's technical request, the line is closed. For additional information, please contact your supervisor. Operator program is extremely confidential. All right. Sounds like I'm tech support for agents in the field. All right.
Hey, pal. How you holding up? Get all that booze out of you?
Not following.
What? You seriously don't remember? You wanted to celebrate your new job, and I quote, properly. Well, I'm happy you're here. You and me at the FDI
Didn't happen.
together. It's really great. But I
Can't prove a
gotta
thing.
tell you something.
I
When
scanned
we're
for
on the
bugs.
job, I can't treat you differently than anybody else. You understand.
And cameras.
Right?
You understand, right? I guess the tables have turned, haven't they? I don't know what this means in context, but let's see if we can tease out some story.
Oh. Right. I almost forgot about that. Well, that was a long time ago. We're no longer kids working summer jobs back home, are we? But
Yeah.
I promise, Evan, right hand to God, I'll be a better boss than you were. Well, I'd better run. The FDI can't run itself now, can it? Good luck with your first day. All right?
Okay. Hey, don't worry about me, Director Trench. Okay, secure line closed. Okay, here we go.
Good morning, Mr. Tanner. Welcome to the FDI. I assume you're up to
Thanks.
speed on your mission here at the operator program?
Let's go with unfortunately, not really, no.
Well, as an operator, your goal is to support our agents by providing them with anything they need to solve a case. That help can come
Okay,
in the
fair
form
enough.
of fact-checking, video and audio analysis, even lab work. My job as a supervisor is to link the agents with an appropriately matched operator. Any questions?
Actually, no, I mean, I presume we're going to walk through some of the early easy stuff to get started, but other than that, no, we're good. Let's
Fine,
do it.
But first, you need to learn how to respond to an agent's request.
See, yes, very
Let's
good,
do a dry
okay.
run, shall we? I want you to find my age. This
Oh.
objective just popped up at the top left of your screen, beside the applications menu. See it? Whenever you're stuck, or if you need help, simply click on the question mark next to the objective. Go on and click on the question mark, Tanner.
Okay. I'll try not to be using that, but we are
Yes,
being instructed.
Just like that. You can always click on the question mark if you get stuck, though I'm hoping this won't happen often. I'm giving you access to the human database. The Human DB, as we call it here. You can
Okay.
find this and other tools to help you solve agent requests in the applications menu. Now
Fair
go
enough.
ahead, Operator Tanner.
Absolutely.
Solve my request. Find my age. When you find the answer, click on the objective and then select the answer on the screen.
Right, so it's a little bit like Papers, Please, connecting bits of evidence to be able to... Okay, yeah, we can do this.
Operator, you should find the information first.
No. Right. Sorry. I'm being dumb. All right, so documents, we can go back, trash down there, fine, welcome, that I already saw. I'm being clueless. Where do I... Oh, here we go. Applications. All right, so let's close that entirely. Applications, trash, notepad. Does notepad actually work? Testing. Oh, we actually have a notepad where we can keep notes in. That's actually really cool. All right, bonus. That's hilarious. A place to put the settings for the game. That's absolutely hilarious. Terminal. All right. Hey, look at that. We actually have a semi-working terminal. I wonder if there's yeah, it does not exist. All right, so we need help. Not a full Linux thing. Setting, config, alias, password, show current. Oh, PW, show certain current directory path. I'm forgetting some of my Linux. Open file. So that's, you know, typical command line stuff. That's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm going through this to see how much they actually put in here. That's actually really cool. Yeah, working calculator. That's a neat touch. CarDB, HumanDB, and then of course down into documents, which we already saw before. So we're gonna go with Xavier Skinner. Hey, Xavier Skinner, age 48. Let's just take a look at some of this other stuff while we're in here, because we may not get another chance if he decides to lock us out of his material. So we've got fingerprints down here. That's great. Last known address on Arrowhead Street, Owings Mills, Virginia 21117. Firearm license, sure. He's married. Blood type. I'm never going to remember all of this, but... Alright, so very interesting. Eye color brown, male. Alright, so... Oh, nice. Yeah, it is very papers, please.
Right. Like that, Tanner. I'll let you get settled in. And I'll contact you later with your first real request.
All right. Thank you for this opportunity, sir. So let's find out what these missions are all about. Okay. Getting a call from Skinner, all right?
Tanner, looks like your first request is somewhat of a baptism by fire. I have an agent working a homicide.
Okay.
It's her first case, too. Not ideal, but consider this a learning experience. I'll be monitoring you in the background.
Very good. Quarter the challenge, sir.
I'm patching the agent through now.
Very good.
It's Operator Tanner, right?
That's me.
I don't think our paths ever crossed at the academy, did they? Anyway, I got a homicide at a bar downtown called The Sanctuary. Ironic, no? My Vic, dead on arrival, is male, Caucasian, early 60s. He was shot in the head at close range around 2 a.m., just before closing time. As far as evidence, I got some surveillance footage from the bar, and some kind of list that I found on the deceased. Any chance you can work your operator magic and help find me an ID on the shooter?
I'll do my best.
Thanks, operator. Okay, I'm sending over the files. Good luck.
Very good. All right, and it comes up as cases broadly. I see. Okay. And I suppose I could probably have opened this up directly. Yeah. Okay. So that's all that is. So we got a name list.
That's the list I found on the victim. It's pretty long, and to be honest, I got no idea who any of those people are. The bizarre thing is, that name at the bottom, it wasn't redacted when I bagged it, but I think it's irrelevant to our shooting here.
So it wasn't redacted when you bagged it. So it's been some sort of, I don't know, like a oxidizing ink or something that goes dark after it's been applied, maybe. All right, odd. Oh, you can search in the document. So if I search for, say, Gail Edwards. All right, yeah. All right. Let's go to the cam. Okay, so car pulls up outside, a very open door. Perp comes in, shoots, and immediately leaves. And then the car drives off.
This is our cutting-edge video analysis system, Tanner. Click on any relevant elements in the video to trigger an analysis. Go on, give it a whirl.
Okay, okay.
Just like with the video, you can click on a photo for further analysis.
So through several frames of the video,
Looks
we
like
managed to
our
get...
victim is Henry Jenkins. For some reason, we can't access his full profile. Unfortunately, for the moment anyway, there's not much else we can learn about him.
But okay, hang on. So that popped up automatically, that's fine. What's down here? Is this anything or just a reflection? Probably just a reflection. Okay. Let's hit play again. We get a shot of the car. Here we go. Alright, so we managed to scrape out a license plate. Ray Wells and Henry Jenkins. Okay. Date of purchase. It hasn't been stolen, which means it might not have been reported stolen yet. Or it was borrowed by Ray Wells, or well, I mean, it could be that Ray Wells is in fact the perp. What am I talking about? Because the target, Jenkins, is the one who's dead. So, all right. So far, not super interesting.
Footage quality is insufficient for a proper ID, operator. You'll need to find another way to ID the killer.
Okay. I don't see anything else. Nothing changes on the pool table. Nothing else changes on the other table. In fact, the bullet must have gone right through like, I don't know, off camera and into a wall where we can't see it. Yeah, I see almost nothing in here. Okay, so let's go back to that list then. So let's take a look in here for some of these names. So Henry is not on the list anywhere. How about Jenkins? Nope. How about Wells? No. Ray? No, just James Murray. Okay. It's a criminal car. That's the victim. Okay, status dead. Age of 65. We don't have the clearance here, so it might be that, you know, high security style of person. Other white. Black Oil Motors. Was the distributor of the car. 91. All right, so let's go back to. Is there anything else in here? No, just the bar. So back in here and see if there's anything in this video footage that we missed. Does this guy drop anything? Comes in, just fires. Yeah, I already know that. I'm not seeing anything except low grainy footage in here. All right. Okay. At the bottom, it wasn't redacted when I bagged it, but I think it's irrelevant to our shooting. It's pretty long, to be honest. I have no idea who any of these people are. That's the list I found on the victim. Okay. Too low grain. Do I have any other applications I can use? Human DB I could use to search for other people if I have other names. Okay, so let's use the Human DB and start to go down through the name list. Now there's a lot of them on here that have just been crossed off. But let's pick one at random that is crossed off, the very first one on the list, for example. I want to find out if there's something interesting about.
I see that you're looking into the names of the people on the list. That's a waste of FDI time and resources, Tanner. Focus on the surveillance footage.
Status is missing, though. That's not irrelevant to me. I'm gonna go after Eli Bell. His status is alive. Married, Franklin, Massachusetts. No scars and marks. Finnegan coach. Or cock. Finnegan. Coke. Coke? It'd help if I could type properly. Also alive, but in California. Place of birth was in Lebanon. Single. Alright. Let's take another one that has been crossed off the list. Say, I don't know, Harley Rose. See, these are all missing, so that's kind of interesting. Minnesota, not married. Place of birth in Minnesota. Type 2 blood type. Nothing terribly exciting there. Whoops. Let's reopen that. Steph Reed. Pennsylvania. Female, type 1. So, right, sure. Eye color's blue. So nothing particularly that interesting here. O positive blood type. I mean, I think he's right. I think there's not a whole lot to go on here. Layla Price. Female 25, type 2. Indiana, single. O positive blood type. Stop or no parking violation, but who cares, right? Sydney James. Why is everybody on here O positive blood type? No, definitely not. I'm impressed that they actually let you type all of these in to get something. Yeah, I'm not noticing any commonalities here. Okay, so that's fine. But I wanted to sort of get a feel for exploring that particular database. So let's go straight on back into the cam footage and see if I can spot anything. Don't like the idea of having to just click on a bunch of things and guess, but I mean, what am I looking for in this footage? Something that got knocked over? I don't think. I mean, there's not much stuff that happens when the guy comes in and fires, right? What am I missing? I can't ask her any more questions. Or technically him. I mean, unless I ask for help. So, okay. Thing is, if I'm resorting to just clicking around the image, I'm missing something fundamental about the nature of this game, or about this. No, well, I mean, not about the interface. It's pretty simple. Look at the footage and see if there's an interesting thing that happens. Anything in his hand? No. There's nothing in these first few seconds of footage that I can tell. All right. I kind of feel like I'm outright stumped. What am I missing? Criminal car. Let's go after the car. I mean, we haven't looked up Ray Wells. Have we looked up Ray Wells? No, I'm being dumb. We just haven't looked up Ray Wells yet. Because, I mean, at least that's one more name. Okay, so, Ray Smallfingers Wells, here we go. Oh, geez, okay, possession of drugs with intent to sell. I'm ridiculously dumb. It's literally the name that was right there. I called out the name at one point in the past, and I forgot that we didn't actually, we pulled up his car, we didn't pull up him. So, okay. 8 Fairview Drive, Maplewood, New Jersey. Just triple checking just to see if there's anything interesting in here. I don't think so. I think all I really want to do is this. But that's not his real name, so...
Nice. Now we know the perp's name. You got something for Wells' address? Because I'll take it if you do.
I am so doomed if it took me that long to literally get past this first thing. Something for Wells' address, yeah. So I could have gotten actually the name out of this, but I've already pulled this up. So... Nope, let's place of birth. Wrong, of course. Hang on a second. Last known address. Go.
Yeah, that'll do. Nice work. Next up is to bring Wills in. I'll keep you updated. Thanks, Operator Tanner.
Hey, Sage, how are you doing? Good to see you again. Right, so, let me see here. So, thanks, Operator Tanner. Good luck with the arrest. All right. Well, that was abysmal
Not bad, Tanner.
performance.
Not
Not
great,
bad.
but not bad either. I'll contact you later with your next request.
It took me way too damn long. I will do better next time, Supervisor. All right. Well, no real mystery here, but I did my job. I helped out the agent in the field, and I took responsibility for my first operator case. Here we go. FBI's most wanted. Please consult the latest FDI most wanted list. So, any information during your shift that might help the FDI inform your supervisor at once. Okay. So, Fred Smorkinski. Really? I'm a little busy here. Fine.
Tanner, I need you to follow up on an investigation started by a previous operator. I'll let the agent working the case bring you up to speed.
Who was the operator?
That's none of your concern, Tanner.
Kind of is, because I'm an operator. Alright.
Oh, please. Tell me you got something.
Hello to you too.
God damn it! Who are you?
Operator Tanner at your service.
Great! Every goddamn time we get a new operator, it takes me twice as long. I got a life outside the FDI, you know? Interests, hobbies, full-blooded passions. I don't have time for this.
I'll send you a box of donuts. Let's just get on with this, alright? Can you tell me about the case agent?
I got a missing persons case out here in Dryfield, Nevada. Connie Moore's her name. I canvassed the area, talked to the locals. I can't believe I'm saying this, but everyone thinks she was abducted by aliens.
Little green men?
Look, I think it's bonkers, too. Another weird thing is, over the past year, 4 people in Dryfield have claimed they've been abducted. And every single time they reappeared somewhere in the middle of the desert out here about a month later, Connie's story's the same.
Okie dokie. But hang on, I thought she was missing.
She was. Popped back up yesterday. Collected her testimony myself. She had a camera on her. Naturally, I'd like to look at the photos. But to do that, I gotta go through you, an operator. Lucky me, right?
Fine.
There's something off about all this. I mean, beyond all the talk of little green men. Just look for something that doesn't add up, okay?
The request is my command, agent.
Here are
Feeling a
the
bit
files.
saucy. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can do better this time. But before we look at that, let's just quickly scan these names. So we got Smorkinski, Boulder, Hal, wanted for crimes of cyber terrorism, Snorish, and Snorish. Okay. Alright, let's check this out. Testimony. So the Connie Moore testimony. Summary. Following Connie Moore's reappearance on 03/05/1992, I'm guessing that's American date ordering. Damn it to heck. So March the 5th, recorded her eyewitness testimony concerning her supposed alien abduction. Present. Connie Moore, the victim. Agent Barry Walker, agent in charge of the investigation. Brittany Holt, FBI transcriber. All right. Can you tell us more about the day you disappeared? I was hiking in the desert, out by Dryfield. Sometimes I do that to clear my head or to take photos. Photography is one of my hobbies, one hobby of mine, sort of a hobby of mine. Yeah. And is that your camera? Agent Walker points to the camera on the table. All right. Yes, it is. What else do you remember about that day in the desert? Well, it's a little blurry, but I wanted to hike around Mount Morai. And I remember that. It's really beautiful at this time of year. I remember taking 2 photographs. Then I heard this loud noise coming from the sky. I looked up and barely had time to take another photograph. It was just moving so fast, their ship, the UFO. And then I think it landed to the east. I decided to head over and see if I could see anything else, maybe get a photo of them. It must have taken me an hour and 45 minutes to go where it landed. Then what? I'm not really sure, to be honest. That's where my mind goes blank. The next thing I know, I'm waking up in some kind of room, and I can't move. Was there someone with you in this room? I don't like to think about it, but yes, they were there all around me, the aliens. What did they look like? The room was so bright, like I was looking into the sun. I only saw their silhouettes. You describe them the best that you can. They were human, except they weren't. Something was off. They were too tall and thin. It was disturbing, actually. I couldn't see their faces. I'm glad about that. So what do you remember about the room? It was white. I mean, entirely white. Antiseptic. It smelled sort of like a hospital. There were no doors, no windows, nothing, just whiteness. What do you think they wanted with you? I think they wanted to learn about me, to study me. I was so scared, I couldn't think straight. They kept asking me questions over and over again. Well, what kind of questions? About my life, my family, my beliefs, everything. I guess that's what they do, study humans. Well, what else do you remember? Well, they had these strange voices, sort of mechanical. And there was a machine they were using on me. It was clamped to my head. I don't know what it was, but it hurt. Can you tell us anything else, Connie? Not really. Next thing I remember, I'm waking up in the forest outside Dryfield. My head was throbbing, maybe because of their drugs or mind probes, I don't know. I just wandered around out there. Luckily somebody found me, or I might have died from dehydration. Then I guess they called the cops, and the cops called you. End of story. Alright, well, we'll return to that, probably desperately seeking clues in a minute. Phone record. Cell phone triangulation report, Connie Moore. Phone tower pings and timestamps from the day of Connie's disappearance on 02/05/1992, from the day that she reappeared on 03/05/1992. So that's an entire month apart, okay? There are no pings between the time of her disappearance and the time of her reappearance at 3:27 p.m., okay? 02/05/1992 from 8:45 to 11:56. Okay. And then 03/05/1992 from 3:27 p.m. So walked south this way, but this other one started way the heck over here and was wandering towards Mount Mori, which she did say. Then walked a bit north for about the next. Oh no, hang on, no. Started here. Left Dryfield, walked south until about 10:15 a.m. So sun would have been rising on this side, probably getting 3/4 of the way up the sky by this point. And then by the time she vanished, the sun would have been directly overhead. Okay. And let's quickly, we'll correlate that with the previous testimony in a minute. Let's take a look at the camera. Okay. Pictures. Okay. Show grid off, timestamp was off. That'd be great if we had timestamps on these, wouldn't it? Okay, so 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, and 3 out of 3. Can we correlate this with anything here? Probably not. Oh, check that out. We do have timestamps. So at 9:19, just after she left this point here, she got a sight of possibly Mount Mori from this end. I mean, it doesn't look like a terribly huge mountain, but let's say that that's actually meant to be the mountain, maybe, looking this direction. 943. That would be here. Getting a different shot, maybe, of the same rocky mound. And then 1013 was here. But then there's... Okay. So if she was abducted shortly after this, then all of this travel time for the next... What is that? Almost 2 hours. Well, an hour and 3/4 anyway. Right. I'm not able to click on any of this for additional information, but curious. Okay, so let's go back into the testimony. Hiking up by the desert. I remember taking 2 photographs, except you took 3. So, I mean that's a small mistake, and it's probably not that important. But, you know what? Find inconsistency.
Yeah. Then she said she took another photo. That makes 3 photos. I don't see an issue with this.
Oh, did she?
You know,
okay.
I don't have your, operator skills.
Of course, that's not an inconsistency. So, okay, so the way this is working is I'm not finding an inconsistency here. I'm finding an inconsistency in... Well, I'm using... Can I say this? Can I do... Yeah, so if I clicked on this... Okay, so I'm not getting a chance to connect 2... I'm not getting a chance to connect 2 pieces of information for inconsistency. I'm finding a thing that is inconsistent and finding... And it will... It's inconsistent with something else I don't have to click on. Okay, so just getting used to the interface here. But I was wrong about that. That's fair. And then I landed to the east, so I decided to head over and see if I could see anything else. Okay. Must have taken an hour 45 minutes to get to go to where it landed. Okay. And that actually is consistent. So... Head over and see if I see anything else. Maybe a photo of them that's taken an hour 45 minutes to go to where it landed. Not really sure, to be honest. That's where my mind goes blank. Then next thing I know, I'm waking up in some kind of room. Okay. How about the arrival? I'm waking up in the desert outside dry field. I wandered around out there, and somebody got me before I died from dehydration. So that's not an inconsistency. Oh, hello. That was taken on a different date. And actually well into the period that was actually close to the... It's actually like 2 weeks later? 2 weeks and 2 days later was halfway between her... disappearance and her arrival. That is an inconsistency.
Jackpot. Connie said she took that photo the day she disappeared. Clearly, she didn't. Maybe the aliens did funny things to her brain. Maybe her brain was funny to begin with. Do me a favor. Locate the position on the map where she supposedly snapped this photograph.
Well, that would be at 1013. So going back to here, that would be about here.
All right. I'll check this spot out. Guess I gotta do a little hiking. Probably sweat my goddamn...
Okay. Why did my incredibly secure FDI computer terminal suddenly reboot? Hacked by Hal. Ah, we know Hal from the most wanted list. Hello, Evan. How do you know my name? I know many things about you, Evan. All right, what do you want? It's simple. I want the truth. What are you talking about? Let me show you something. Do you remember the list found on Henry Jenkins? Yes, I do. You didn't see her name, did you, Evan? The abducted woman. Pretty big coincidence, don't you think? I'm also going to assume that you didn't notice that of the 136 people on it, 122 have been reported missing. Actually, I did notice that, thank you. Did you kidnap them, Hal? Don't be ridiculous, Evan. I wouldn't hurt a fly. Maybe an annoying fly. One last thing, and this is the most important part. There's a name near the bottom that's been redacted. That name is the key to understanding everything. You gonna tell me, Hal? I have to go now, Evan, but I'll be in touch soon. Promise. Don't go, tell me more. Not exactly a secure and monitored federal government terminal.
Operator Tanner, are you there? Agent Walker told me that your connection was suddenly cut. And when I tried to contact you, you were offline. What happened?
So before I answer that question, you know, I'm not in a position where I mistrust Skinner. He might end up being the bad guy in this story, but I'm just doing my job at this point.
Hal? I thought we had taken care of that problem. I will look into this matter immediately with our cybersecurity department. The second
Please
shift
do.
of operators has arrived. You can go home now, Tanner. See you tomorrow. And don't be late.
Okay, so her last address, Dryfield, Nevada. Date of birth, 62. Phone number, blood type, occupation. No criminal history. Oh, good heavens. No criminal history, 29 years of age. So nothing terribly unusual here thus far. So at least now we know who she is. I'll be up at the house, sir. Anything else that we can sort of tease out of the documents that we already have? Probably not. There's not enough names or anything in the case files that we currently have, so. Alright. Anything else in the applications that we can sort out? No, can't look up any other cars. I think we're done, so. I completed my first day at the FDI. So it's a little late for me, but I'm going to do one more day because I am actually kind of having quite a bit of fun. While that's loading in, I'm going to take a 2-second break and go get myself some water. We got a lot of background activity behind the fuzziness of the screen going on. Evan's apartment. Something happened. Was this all in my apartment? All of this sort of background behind the screen of fuzziness? Okay, headquarters, Washington, D.C. Sequence complete. All right. What does the new day bring? All right.
Hey, pal. So, tell me, how'd day number 1 at the FDI go? Everything you had hoped for?
You know what? I think it went pretty well.
All right. That's what I like to hear. Ah, sorry, buddy. My phone's ringing off the hook here. I gotta run. But hey, great job. And, just keep plugging away, okay? I'm proud of you, Evan.
Thanks, Mike. Talk to you later. All right, Skinner. Talk to me.
Operator Tanner, Agent Pendle has an update on yesterday's case. I'll patch her through in a moment. But before I do, I wanted to let you know that from this point on, you'll talk to the agents directly. Time to cut the umbilical cord. However, as your supervisor, I'll still be in the background monitoring your activity. Oh, I almost forgot. Our cybersecurity department is looking into this unfortunate matter with Hal. You can be assured that it won't happen again.
We'll catch out, won't we, sir?
Of course we will, Operator. This is the FDI.
Sweet. All right. Talk to me,
Morning,
Alexandra.
Operator Tanner. So you remember Ray Wells, right?
Yeah.
So I checked out the address you gave me, but no sign of Wells. Then I get a call from Vice, and guess what? Wells was found dead in a downtown parking garage early this morning. Shot. Point blank range. Now I'm working 2 homicides, and it's my first week. Welcome to the FDI, Alexandra. Anyway, the garage has cameras, and I got some footage of Wells. That's the good news. The bad news? I don't have all the footage. Sort of weird, but part of it is missing.
Yeah, I didn't think Ray Wells on the list. I think I checked that. Has it been tampered with?
I don't know. that way, doesn't it? I don't put much stock into conspiracies, but the timing is definitely suspicious. Anyway, think you could take a look? I'm looking for anything that's different between the first and second half of the surveillance footage. Apart from Wells ending up dead and the blood splatter on the pillar. Sorry for the vivid details.
Yeah, no, hit me with the caseload. What do we got? Okay. Guy here, standing at the edge, waiting by the pillar. Missing nonsense. Okay. Fallen body. Alright. So let's scrub through this a little bit here. Looking at all the different cars. Traffic cones. Well, okay, so let's get this guy's information. So this is Ray Wells. We already knew that. That's fine. You know what? I didn't even notice that, but that's funny because I noticed this shadow on the car over here, but I didn't notice that light. Okay. Is there anything else? Probably not. I'm sure that's probably the thing I'm supposed to mark. So, find something different.
Look at that. Give me a sec, operator. I'm gonna check this out.
Alright.
Well. I just found a bullet lodged in the light's framework. I'm sending you a photo. Can you run an analysis and tell me what kind of bullet I'm looking at?
.45 ACP, alright. I don't know much about guns, so that on its own doesn't tell me anything.
.45 caliber? I believe that's what the military and police use. Well, that's something anyway. Thanks for your help, operator. Appreciate it. If only we had all of the footage. Anyway, I should get back to the scene. Keep digging and see if you can find anything else about our perp.
Whoa. Alright, so... Okay. Oh, I didn't really... Didn't really mean to click that, but okay, I'll go with it. Alright, I'm listening. Alright. Sorry, I haven't been actually reading this out loud, as I'm supposed to be possibly doing while I'm on stream. So, hello again, even. Yes, things like you guys and I were becoming friends. We have a deal to offer you, one that I think you'll find interesting. You see, we share a common goal, you, me, and the FDI. You just don't know it yet. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to help you with the Wells case, but tell me later when I ask for it. Do we have ourselves a deal? How could you help me? I have access to the surveillance footage from the garage. I mean, all of the footage. Alright, and how did you get that? I don't have the time to go into the technical details. No offense, but you probably wouldn't understand anyway. Will you do the deal, or won't you? I need your answer, and I need it now. Yeah, well, Pendle could use my help, so... Yeah, she could. And you could be her knight in shining armor, Evan. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put this big, juicy missing part back in so you can watch it and solve this crime. I'll help you if you help me. Well, this looks suspicious. Somebody asks how you got the missing footage. Just say the analysis software restored it. It's supposed to be cutting edge anyway, right? So, do we have ourselves a deal? I'm super interested to find out if I say I won't do it, but I don't think I can get anywhere without this, so... Alright, we have ourselves a deal, Al. Now give me a few seconds to run my script. I'm going to go in here and open up the terminal. Oh, darn. Alright, it didn't capture any of that stuff that scrolled past. Alright. Be back a little later to collect my debt, Evan. Until then... Okay, well... Alright. So, the thing is, that's interesting about this, is he just sort of walks up to it as if he's sort of expecting the arrival and even maybe recognizes the car or gets called over to the car. And then there's a disagreement and a shot.
I see that you ran the facial recognition software, and 0 matches turned up, operator. That's unusual. In fact, it shouldn't even be possible. Our FDI databases are exhaustive. I'll flag this issue for later, but go ahead and share the image with Agent Pendle.
Fair enough. Okay. I'm not sure how to do that. Hang on. Pendle. Image of Wells Killer.
I don't understand. How did you get this?
I'm going to be a little saucy here.
How? The hacker? You're a funny guy, Tanner. Anyway, thanks. I'll canvass the area immediately. Maybe someone has seen our Prince Charming. I'll talk to you later. And thanks again.
Don't mention it. It's all good. FDI headquarters, Washington, D.C., 1:45 p.m. All right. You know what? Go ahead. I'm listening. Connecting to another FDI agent. Her name is Catherine Andrews. Just listen to what she has to say. Open your terminal and type the following command. Okay. That makes me slightly nervous. You know what's interesting? I know that at least Skinner I had an IP address. I wonder what would happen if I used that call command on him, yeah? Anyway, we can explore that later.
Hello, Operator Tanner. Hal told me that you'd be calling.
This is interesting.
Okay, I'll try to keep this short. About a month ago, I started working on a missing persons case. A woman reported that her husband had been gone for over 48 hours. Almost right away, the case felt different. Red tape all over the place. An unusual lack of cooperation from my superiors and colleagues. Unanswered calls. Suddenly, the FDI felt like the most incompetent department in the country. After an almost endless game of phone tag, I finally managed to get an appointment with a superior. The plan was to sit down and talk about the case first thing Monday morning. That Sunday night, I'm awoken by a phone call. The woman's apartment has burned to the ground. And the woman, what's left of her anyway, has been found dead in the ashes.
That is a little bit strange.
Well, it gets worse. So I started looking into the fire, of course. I couldn't help myself. Plus, I felt like I owed it to Mia. That was the woman's name. Mia Cole. Anyway, it wasn't long before my superiors found out and pressured me to stop. They told me the fire had been ruled accidental, the result of faulty wiring in her oven. They told me I was wasting my time and precious FDI resources by looking into it, and said if I continued, I'd end up pushing papers in a basement somewhere. But that fire, Operator Tanner, that fire was no accident. I can feel it. Mia was murdered. I just have to prove it. That's why I'm hoping you can help me.
Access forbidden. Alright. How do you know it's not an accident?
Go ahead and search them in the human DB. The husband's name is Sasha. Sasha and Mia Cole. Please.
Access is forbidden. That's interesting. Also forbidden. Alright, but I don't have clearance.
Just another coincidence, right? Look, I don't know why, but someone doesn't want us looking into Sasha and Mia Cole. But we have to, Operator Tanner. It's our job. Who's going to do it if we don't? Can you help me find proof Mia's fire wasn't an accident?
But how can we access the case files?
You'll take a look then? Oh, thank you. As far as how to access the case files, that's not really my area of expertise. But you can ask Hal.
See, why are we doing this over an insecure connection? That either means that she's not a real agent, or she was an agent but got kicked out, and I'm calling through a different route than the normal secure communications mechanism, but she can't really be an active agent. It's so weird. Funny, I was just working on this very thing. So, it looks like I can't give you direct access to the files. But I found a bug in the chat. You should be able to inject a query that'll get you in. Just type this. This feels very suspicious. So it's XQLLC, but with the quotes at the beginning. All right. This
Despite
seems
being,
super
well,
sketchy,
a
but
thorn in the side, you have to admit Hal gets results.
okay. Following report was written by Agent Andrews and modified on redacted by redacted. Okay. Status is closed. Accidental fire stemming from malfunctioning wire in the victim's oven. February 27th, 1992. Catherine Andrews was in charge. Okay. This is Catherine Andrews, of course. Picture available. Reason connection is not secure. Alright, I see. Single victim identified as Mia Cole through dental records. Possibly fakeable. Probably not easily, though. Tenant information and a wedding ring was discovered. The autopsy reveals no anomalies attributing the cause of death to the fire. No other signs of physical trauma were found. No indications of forced entry or struggle were evident in the home, aligning with the findings of the victim's autopsy report. The fire responses team referred to report something, redacted, concluded the fire originated from faulty wiring in the oven. Conclusion supported by investigation. Okay, so let's check out the ring. Inscription: Sasha and Mia's engaged on the inside. Alright, nothing unusual about that. Wedding picture. Partially burned. It does bring her picture. Not really any discrepancy we can point to from any of this yet. Okay. Ash sample. Color gray, 4.2 grams, state solid, type non-organic, selected non-organic. Selected ash sample, okay. Settings: ion size, delta V threshold, sample matrix size. Okay, question mark. User manual for the ChemScan LCA chemical analyzer provides guidance on the proper use and operation, but does not replace proper training in handling chemicals. The manufacturer and authors of this manual can't be held liable for injuries, damages, or losses resulting from the use of the instrument or handling of the chemicals in a manner not in accordance with this manual or applicable laws and regulations. Okay. Welcome to the user manual, designed to provide you with the information you need. Read carefully. If you have questions, contact. All right. Open the sample in the software, input the appropriate settings for your sample using formulas found thereafter. Start the analysis process. It may take some time. Once the analysis is complete, open the data report, input the results from the analysis, and initiate the calculation. Okay. Ion size. The appropriate ion size depends on the sample type and state. For a liquid sample, ion size will be set to 2 for both organic and non-organic samples. For a solid sample, ion size is typically around 6. If the material is organic, the ion size must be set to 3.5 to avoid damaging the sample. Okay. For gaseous sample, ion size must not exceed 1.3. Delta V. Okay. If the material is organic. The type is non-organic. Okay. I want to pretend it's organic for the moment. For an organic sample, sample weight in gram times 250, the delta V. Okay, for a non-organic sample. But it does say non-organic, right? So maybe I should just play this by the book. So ion size is typically 6. Okay. The delta V can be calculated using the following formula. For an it's funny though. If it's non-organic, then why is that coming from her? All right. Non-organic sample, sample weight in grams times 100. So it would be 420. All right. Threshold depends on the delta V and the sample type. For solid samples, the threshold will be set to half the delta V. All right, so that'll be 210. Sample matrix size. The default value of the matrix size is 5. If you're using an older version, you must set the matrix size to 4. 104. Okay. 103 or lower. It's 104. So matrix size is 5. Okay. How to read the results. So it'll give as a result of the analysis a frequency and response curve. Okay, so we start. All right. The ChemScan LCA will give as a result of the analysis a frequency response curve and additional sample characteristics. All right, so that gives us a number of different properties. 1, 2, and 3. Must be between 1 and 5 spikes that are higher than the threshold. It'll give as a result of the analysis a frequency response curve and additional sample characteristics. Open the data report software and input the CCVT pH and frequencies. So that's this guy, and these 4 frequencies. All right. So we need to use the CSLCA data report software. Okay. Here we go. So this is 901. The pH 6.5. And the values are 1.52, 2.44, we'll check that. 2.45. 9.23. 10.60. .61. All right, 901, pH is 6.5, so I've done something wrong here. How about this? 9.23, 9.25. Evan, you should check the manual to make sure you've entered everything correctly. Yeah, thank you, I'm trying. 2.45, yeah. .54. Could be 1.55. A little hard to tell on my monitor here. 2.46 maybe. Hang on, did it say in order? Is that in order of size? It is in order of size. Okay, so that's the problem. So, time to do a little bit of sorting. No known sorting algorithm known to mankind. But that didn't help. Oh, hang on. It's in order of height, but it's not necessarily the kilohertz values because I'm dumb. 9.26 and then 2.47. Okay. Then 1.5, whoops, then 1.58, or 1.5 whatever, and then the 10 point whatever. There we go. Cellulose, gasoline, and other non-identifiable residues. There it is. Traces of gasoline in the fire.
Faulty wiring my... you know what. This was no accident. Someone started this fire and killed Mia. But why?
Why is Hal helping you?
I can't talk about that, operator. Not now. When the time is right, Hal will let you know. I'm sure. But what we're doing here, it's important. You see that, right? It matters to me.
How so?
I grew to know her. Mia, I mean. With our line of work, you try not to get emotionally involved. That's what they teach you at the academy anyway. Almost from the start. And usually, if I can turn the switch off, I learned to do that. Feel nothing. But with Mia, I just never could.
Why are things getting quiet and fading into the background mysteriously?
I'm not exactly an expert, but she did have a good voice. Really. She was...
This isn't me holding down the down on the volume control. Something is very strange going on here.
Someone killed him, Operator Tanner. Someone killed Mia and her baby. Are you still there?
I don't know what happened.
Oh. Anyway, thanks, Operator. Because of you, I finally have proof. Knowing Hal, well, as much as someone can know Hal, I have a feeling this won't be the last time you and me work together.
Yeah, I have that feeling too. What the heck was that? So, you found evidence proving the fire wasn't an accident. Well done, Evan. Maybe there's hope for you yet. The way the FBI has handled the Cole case, it's strange, don't you think? There must be a good reason. I see you're a skeptic. That's good. We can use that, Evan. Look. I know you probably still don't trust me. I'm on the FDI's most wanted list. Duh. I hacked into your computer. I get it. Tell me something. Why would I bother to going to the trouble of working with a low-level FBI employee? Because I'm low-level. Sorry. If I didn't have a good reason. Yeah, I don't buy this. I'm not personally involved here. There's no reason for Hal to select me unless he knows me through Mike for some reason. But it could be either one of these other two. I'm just going to go with the last one. I literally have no idea, Hal. Maybe you're thinking about turning me in to get that reward. But it's too late. You're in too deep. Yeah.
Operator Tanner, can I have a word?
Authorized access. Okay.
I see that you've been
Sure, Mike,
looking
what's
into the
this about?
database entries for Mia and Sasha Cole. You want to tell me why?
I'm feeling salty again. Hal made me do it, sir.
I see. I should have guessed Hal might be involved. This lowlife has been making our lives very difficult lately here at the department. But we're working with our cybersecurity team. We'll catch Hal soon enough. In the meantime, and this is very important, if you hear anything else about the Coles, you come to me right away. Understood?
What's the big deal about them?
Oh, there's no deal, Evan. It's just highly confidential. Classified.
That's a deal.
And way above your pay grade. I'm sure you understand.
Sure, whatever you say, Mike.
I'll talk to you later.
Shouldn't have done that, Evan. Lucky for you, you held up your end of the agreement by looking into Mia's fire. You know, he does kind of scare me, to be honest, so yeah, lucky me. FDI headquarters, Washington, D.C., 4:55 p.m. So later on, late afternoon, it's still on the second day. All right. Okay.
So
Hey, Barry.
who the hell am I talking to this time?
Tanner here, Agent Walker.
Good. You haven't been fired. I was afraid I'd have to explain this goddamn case all over again. I went back to where Connie said she took the photo in the desert.
All
You
right.
remember, right? Where she said this, flying saucer supposedly landed. I didn't find
Sure.
a flying saucer or any aliens breathing their last wheezy breaths or anything like that. But I did find something else.
The desert heat?
I found that too, Tanner. But no, that's not what I meant. I found stones. A bunch of stones lying there on the surface of the sand. I'm no geologist, but they look funny to me. Like they'd been moved. Put there for a reason, you know? So, I call it in. Because I'm sure as hell not gonna dig myself, Tanner. Not in this suit. A team arrives an hour later, and they start digging.
All
Sure
right.
enough, under one of the stones, they find a body. Advanced state of decomp. They dig under another stone. Lo and behold, this time they find an entire skeleton. Turns out, we're standing on some sort of desert graveyard.
Before I continue this, hello, first-time chatter coming in and filling my room with spam. Please go away. I don't think there's anything I can do to get rid of the message, but I won't worry about blocking them this time. The sigh. Anyway, let's go back to they found a body and a skeleton. All right.
Yeah, messed up, right? And judging by the size of the skeleton, it belonged to someone young, Tanner. Real young.
How many corpses?
Hard to say, but I counted more than 100 stones. If they're all grave markers, well, I'll let you do the math. Look, I won't beat around the bush. The medical examiner has finished a preliminary report on the skeleton, and they found what they believe is a photo of the victim in the sand, buried there by the bones. Never seen that before. Any chance you can take a look at all this and get me an ID, Tanner?
I can certainly try.
Let me send you the files. Well, it's taken a while. Hard to access the satellite out here in Roswell. Dryfield.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Looks like it went through. About goddamn time.
All right.
The skeleton appears to be female, estimated at 9 years of age. Starting the examination now. Initial
All right.
observations show well-preserved and intact bones. No visible signs of trauma or damage. The subject is missing her left incisor. The rest of the dentition looks good. No decay or disease is present. Moving on. Here's something interesting. One of the metacarpal bones on her left hand, the metacarpal 3, has a slight curvature. You don't see that a lot. So, to summarize, the subject appears to have been a female, approximately 9 years of age, with a missing left incisor tooth and a slight curvature in the metacarpal 3 in her left hand. Based on the level of decomposition, the body appears to have been buried for approximately 6 to 8 months. Further testing and analysis is needed to determine the cause of death.
I mean, that's interesting, but hold the phone. Henry Jenkins. Okay. That's weird. Okay, so the daughter of Henry Jenkins, maybe? You know, bring your daughter to work day, something like that. Gabby Jenkins. Maybe not a daughter, though. Because wouldn't have said Dr. Jenkins. What's that name list? Gabby Bruce. Okay. No pictures available for minors. However, metacarpal bone abnormal growth. Well, there's that.
How did you find this, Tanner?
Names on a list from another case, like Connie.
Just when you think this case can't get any weirder, that's exactly what it does. But I need concrete proof it's her. Got anything else in your bag of tricks?
Oh, yes.
I'll be damned. 9 years old, Tanner. Breaks your goddamn heart. What the hell is going on out here? And what's the connection to Connie? Okay, the examiner has just finished processing the second body I was telling you about. The one in the advanced state of decay.
Okay.
Let's see here. Adult male, early 60s.
Okay.
Ah, they got an ID on him. Quentin Spence. Want to see
Okay.
if that name is on your magical list too?
Yeah. These are the names of the gravestones, then.
So there's definitely a link.
The
I
names
see
of the
some
people in the
names have been
gravestones.
crossed out. Can you figure out what that business means?
Well, Yeah, sure. But that means going to... That means missing.
Looks to be about 100 names like that. That number matches the stones. God damn.
Yo.
And if I was a gambling man, I'd say the circled persons are still alive. Like our Connie. There's something else about Spence, Tanner.
Okay, what about Spence?
They found him buried in a lab coat with some, you're never gonna guess, floppy disk sewn into one of the pockets. Remember what I said about this case getting weirder and weirder? I'm sending everything your way.
Well, I'll be opening both floppy disks.
There you go. Now the second disk, password protected. Open that second floppy disk and give me an address tied to Spence. Something I can look into. I'm getting a little restless with you doing all the work. The operator program. Oh.
Autopsy report of a male, approximately late 50s, early 60s. Initial observations show no sign of trauma or blunt force injury, similar to the first remains found. The decedent appears to be wearing some kind of lab coat.
Kind of like Jenkins.
Starting the external examination now. Excellent dentition. The decedent is wearing some kind of badge. Let me put this to the side. Abdomen seems healthy, with no signs of trauma or injuries. The lab coat seems to contain a hidden pocket. There's something inside. It's sewn shut. I'll open this with my scalpel. There. There appear to be 2 floppy disks inside the pocket. Strange.
I mean,
in my estimate, the body has been buried for approximately 2 to 3 months.
Why
based on the level of decomposition.
would the disc be left alone?
At this point, the cause of death is uncertain. Further testing and analysis is needed, including toxicology reports, before I can provide a conclusive determination.
That's super weird. So Quentin for BM Technologies. All right, hang on. Both from BM Technologies, different clearance levels. Okay. R&D 1 from Dr. Spence. All right. R&D 2 from Dr. Spence, but this one has lock and key, res.2. I don't know exactly what this means yet, but okay. Upon my arrival at the biome facility, I was warmly greeted by Dr. Jenkins himself. How fortunate I am to work with such a passionate and talented scientist, even if it's in a subsidiary role. During our meeting, Dr. Jenkins explained that I would be heading up a trial involving FMP-1138, a key component of his research project. Although he did not disclose much, I have the impression that this project is shrouded in secrecy. It appears to be of great importance. The trials, which are scheduled to commence in a few days, once I am well versed with the subjects and the procedures are in place. Dr. Isles, the facility director, informs me our work has the potential to significantly enhance the well-being of the patients who have been selected specifically for our research. The entire facility itself has been constructed for this purpose alone. Although I'm unaware of the project source of funding, there appears to be no shortage of resources. I'm truly optimistic our research will make a profound difference and push the boundaries of scientific knowledge. Alright, well, fair enough. The AMP receptor is a crucial component of excitatory synaptic transmission and plasticity in the brain. As a glutamate-gated ion channel, it mediates fast synaptic transmission and contributes to synaptic plasticity by modulating the strength of the synaptic connections between neurons. Dysfunction of AMPA receptors has been implicated in various neurological and psychiatric disorders, including Alzheimer's disease, depression, and schizophrenia. Okay, representation of the AMPA receptor, all right. Selective AMPA receptor potentiators represent a promising class of compounds for the treatment of these disorders as they enhance AMPA receptor function and improve synaptic plasticity. FMP1138 is a novel selective AMPA receptor potentiator that has shown promising results in preclinical studies. It has been demonstrated to enhance AMPA receptor mediated synaptic transmission and improve synaptic plasticity in vitro and in vivo. In this study, we sought to explore the potential therapeutic effects of FMP1138 on neuronal connectivity. Specifically, we aimed to investigate whether FMP1138 could enhance synaptic connectivity and promote the formation of new synapses in vitro and in vivo. To accomplish this, we used a combination of electrophysiological imaging and behavioral assays to assess the effects of FMP1138 on neural function and connectivity. Our results demonstrate that FMP1138 enhances synaptic connectivity and promotes the formation of new synapses in vitro and in vivo. Specifically, we observed that FMP1138 increased the frequency and amplitude of excitatory postsynaptic currents, EPSCs, in cultured neurons, indicating an enhancement of synaptic transmission. Furthermore, we found that FMP1138 promoted the formation of new synapses in cultured neurons, as evidenced by an increase in the number of dendritic spines, the sites of synaptic connections on neurons. To unlock the full potential, so this is one key, 66.72 kilohertz min, 105 kilohertz maximum. In vivo, we found that FMP1138 improves cognitive function in the mouse model with Alzheimer's. Specifically, we observed that FMP1138 treated mice performed better in a spatial memory task compared to controlled mice. Additionally, we found that FMP1138 treated mice had increased dendritic spine density in the hippocampus, a brain region critical for learning and memory. Taken together, our findings suggest that FMP1138 represents a promising therapeutic agent for the treatment of neurological and psychiatric disorders characterized by impaired neuronal connectivity and plasticity. Further preclinical and clinical studies are warranted to evaluate the safety and efficacy of FMP1138 in humans. Alright, so we're going to leave that open because I suspect that this is going to be relevant to unlocking the files. So, our Res 1, okay. These results demonstrate that FMP1138 significantly increased the frequency and amplitude of APSCs, indicating enhancement of synaptic transmission. These findings suggest that FMP1138 has the potential to improve neuronal connectivity and plasticity, which could have implications for the treatment of neurological and psychiatric disorders characterized by synaptic dysfunction. Wow, okay. I'm going to leave that open too for the same reason. Alright, the graph displays the results of a study investigating the effects of FMP1138 on synaptic connectivity in vitro. The study aimed to explore whether FMP1138 could enhance synaptic transmission and promote the formation of new synapses. The graph shows the mean frequency and amplitude of excitatory postsynaptic currents, EPSCs, in cultured neurons under controlled conditions and after treatment with FMP1138. The results demonstrate that FMP1138 significantly increased the frequency and amplitude of EPSCs, indicating an enhancement of synaptic transmission. These findings suggest that FMP1138 has the potential to improve neural connectivity and plasticity. Sorry if I'm reading all of this very quickly. There's a lot of text, but I just feel like doing it for reasons. Note that we had the key there and the lock here. So I think these are the two critical pieces of knowledge we're going to need. Isles use Endian. Okay. Before FMP1138, after. Okay. Let's check out the second floppy disk. Enter password. So To unlock the full potential. 6672 min, 105 max. And with that picture, from Res 2, it could just be Endian. Let's try that. It's a lock and key. Don't think there's anything in there. Close that off. Unlike Dr. Isles, in this result paper, I will use the Little Endian standard. Now that's a numerical mechanism by which the way bytes are arranged in computer memory to represent a number. But, I mean, I'm not sure what that means in this case, because to unlock the full potential, all Little Endian means is that the sort of the smallest part of a number comes first, the smallest 8 bits in the case of computers, and then the progressively more significant 8-bit chunks come afterward. But I don't know what number it might be referring to. I mean, it could be something like 3811, just as pairs of digits, but that's a stretch. To unlock the full potential, so if this were 6672 and this were 105, what does that even mean? Hang on. In the result, people use the Little Endian standard. Isles use Isles use would have been the Big Endian standard, which would have been the other way around, right? But so I mean, see, none of these are bit patterns, so I'm reluctant to try to apply any, and these aren't integers anyway, and not sure how much, I can't remember if endianness actually affects floating point representations, but it doesn't really matter anyway. I can't imagine that the game would be so complicated as having me convert these to binary format and then do byte swapping. That makes no sense. I mean, they could. It'd be evil. See if I can think this through any other way. So I see this on here. This is R&D. Okay, so where's that first? So if I mean, it might be 38 because there are sort of two spots here. I'm gonna guess 38. It's a strange use of big and little endian, but okay. The little endian standard, it could be 83 for the same, by the same sort of reasoning. Instead of pairs, it would just be, nope. Oh, for God's sake. That's genius, and somebody who is more spatially inclined than me, being a complete computer geek, would have spotted this a long time ago. I can't shrink the size of these windows, sadly, to be able to pull this off, and I don't want to pull up a separate window to do this. But imagine if I placed this right up against this. This text is irrelevant. What this says is, to unlock the files, use 105 endian. Very clever. And arguably should have been a bit more obvious, but I was looking for a math definition. Of course, I was right. They weren't making you do math in order to do that, because it's exactly the kind of comment about big or little endian or whatever that you might find in a technical document if it was storing raw data from something. You just wanted to make sure somebody else could decode it. Somebody might make that comment. But nobody's going to make you do that in a computer game unless it's a very computer science-based computer game. Okay. Confession. If you are reading this, it means that I'm no longer living and that I have been buried in Dryfield Desert like the other subjects. I implore you, whoever you are, to share my story with anyone who can make things right. My name is Quentin Spence. I was the head of operations at Bion Facility. I'm writing this letter because I'm about to resign from a job that one cannot simply resign from. As per protocol, I will most likely be sent to the desert burial site with all of my belongings. I deserve this punishment. I am sick, so sick of everything we've done to supposedly in the name of science. If you have found me, then I'm assuming you have found the others too. Every person buried here in the sand is a Project Eve test subject. Eve was led by Dr. Henry Jenkins. I'm not trying to shift the blame onto him. I bear my share of responsibility in this matter. While our intentions are noble, at least in the beginning, I now see that we went too far, and I'm ready and willing to face whatever punishment awaits me in the next world. You have found this document, but perhaps the contents of my lab coat pocket remain undiscovered. Perhaps they could not crack the password necessary to open the floppy disk. Maybe they assume the floppy disk contained my only research papers. Regardless, what really truly matters now is you. You have the power to stop this. Biome Facility, 22 East Border Street, Bedford, Nevada. Please do not be as cowardly as I was, Quentin. Spence worked at the Biome Facility. It's
I'll
here.
let it go to your operator head, but that was actually somewhat impressive, Tanner. The address you sent, it's not far from here. I'll check it out first thing in the morning. Tonight, I think I'll help the team exhume the rest of these bodies. Screw the suit. God help us, Tanner. God help every single one of us.
Take care of yourself, Agent Walker. Power off. And that well, I'll go through until the wake-up period of the next day where it's finally achieved steady state again, but that's where we're going to call it, so as soon as this comes back up. Some sort of train? Oh, elevator, of course, with the big bongs.
He's poking around, asking too many questions.
Here we go. Hi, Skinner.
Expose us all if you don't rein him in. Yes, his shift is over. Yes. All right. Fine. We'll talk later. Bye.
Walking down the street, perhaps? Passing L train, underground subway. Sure, just getting home. You're doing a great job with the audio on this as mood. Alright, eating some food. I think it sounds kind of similar to the first time we had this interlude, maybe. I only caught the last half of it because I was getting water, but Evan's apartment, 6 a.m. Bathroom, maybe? Getting some pills? I'm not sure. FDI headquarters, Washington, D.C., 7:25 a.m. So hopefully this just comes up and we can save the game, yeah? So, I'm going to hope that if I hit the magic quit button here, that it will preserve as far as I got in the game, because it doesn't appear to be an explicit save. So, yeah, here we go. We're going to hit the magic quit button. So, thank you so much for joining me. I haven't done one of these streams in a little while, but I may try to play this now and again. I don't have a specific schedule, so I hope you find this offline. It will be obviously on Twitch for a while, and then it will show up with all of my other videos archived on the associated YouTube channel. And I hope that all of you find me there. It's been delightful. Thanks very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next stream.